What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new rebuild, and today it's going to be Fenerbahce, a big Turkish team, and of course the main aim is going to try to win that Champions League trophy. If you do enjoy the rebuilds, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and once again you can comment below a team you want to see, because we've still got loads of time left, so be sure to get your requests in below. This is going to be Fenerbahce inside of Football Manager 2024. We know who they are. They've got a great reputation at 4 stars, played pretty well against United the other night as well, to be fair to them. 3.5-star training, 3-star youth, and 3 silver star youth recruitment. The owners, they absolutely love the club, but the big challenge over in Turkey is the limited finance as well. Usually limited finances. Something happened quite special in this video, which I don't want to give too many hints away at, but you can already probably tell. Usually the money's tight. Let's just say in this video, a window got opened. Going over to the overview, we are going to go and look at 19 Turkish Super Leagues, which is a real big achievement. 7 Turkish Cups, 9 Turkish Super Cups, 1 Balkans Club Cup, 8 Turkish Prime Minister's Cup, and loads of other smaller cups, which we don't really need to discuss. But I mean, overall, they're a big team that have won everything over in Turkey, but of course are missing one thing, and that is probably why they appointed Jose Mourinho, who probably is not going to get it done for them. I might. We are going to try and add a European trophy into this immaculate looking cabinet, because that is what they're missing. Now, of course, going over to the team, we are going to be deploying a positive 4-2-3-1. I want to take this rebuild seriously because I want to try and win a Champions League. So we are using by far the best formation in the game, and we've actually got some decent players. This lad here, I didn't even know played for Fenerbahce. El Nesri, one of the, I'm not going to say the best strikers, but a very good striker in the Turkish league. As you can see, he come in, how much did he even come in for? Just sort of spawned here on the database, it seems, but of course previously from Sevilla, so we're going to take him. We've got the ex-midfield partnership of Fred and Amrabat. We've got Sayuncu, we've got Osterwolde, Livakovic, an incredible goalkeeper. This man I'm excited for, but of course he's only on loan, and I can guarantee, however much money we had in the world, there's 2 things why we're not going to be able to keep him: wage and transfer budget. We are not going to be able to afford him, but for Season 1, we can use him, hopefully get something from him. Now, of course, we've got other players who I've not even discussed, the likes of Cengiz Under, a player, of course, previously of Leicester, Roma, and Marseille, still only 26, and still has a lot to offer on that right-hand side. We've got the likes of Kostic on loan as well. We've got Ryan Kent, who, of course, isn't under the best sort of circumstances with them in real life. In fact, I think he's not even at the club anymore. You've got Dusan Tadic, again, a player who is really, really good. If you watched any of my streams from last year, this guy was a hard carry in this team, and I do just think we've got a real all-round good-looking team, to be honest, especially in this Turkish league. Now, if you are playing back home, you would have had a budget of around about 900k, so not much, to be honest. Of course, we do not sign any players in this first season. We are playing inside of 4 competitions: the Super League, the Champions League, the Turkish Cup, and the Turkish Super Cup. And honestly, I think we can go out and win at least 2 Turkish Cups in that first season. It's a big ask, but genuinely, we've got a good formation, we've got good players, there's no reason why we can't. So let's get into the actual first Season 1 and see what we can do. Well, right into a European final, the Europa League against RB Leipzig, where we are going to go 1-0 up with a goal from Fred, a great finish from him inside of 8 minutes, and now this is where Leipzig collapse. 81 minutes on the clock, we are going to make it 2-0 with Edin Dzeko, and Leipzig at this point were down to 10 men and could not defend a single thing. A third goal is going to come in, and we are going to wrap it up with St. Maximan into the middle. It's awful goalkeeping. We'll take it. Also going to lift the Turkish Super Cup 4-2 over Galatasaray. It's a good start so far. Turkish Cup final, we play Galatasaray again, and I will be honest, it's an absolute masterclass from St. Maximin to make it 1-0, and we wrap it up 2-0 in the 94th minute with a bit of play there from Tadic. Meaning, including an invincible season in the Turkish league, we have gone over and won every single trophy possible that we can. Now, what I will say is the video is not done, so do not worry, because we are going to try and win the Champions League, which will not be an easy job. But going back briefly to this league, you can see an invincible season with Edin Dzeko topping the goals. The big issue here is losing St. Maximin, because he is going to be such a good player for us, and he was such a good player, but of course we will not be able to afford him. He's going to go back to the Saudi league, and that is going to be a big loss. But I mean, overall, it's not just him that's performing. Edin Dzeko doing a great job. We've got Mulder there as well. Tadic, Livakovic, the most clean sheets. We have got a very good team that has literally just won a quadruple in Season 1, which is why I think if you are, tactic-wise, we might have gone over and created something, because this 4-2-3-1 is clearly delivering. And let's go and see who actually got the goals. So if we actually quick pick the team, Okay, we'll do best 11 then. We'll quick like this. So we are going to have 13 goals for El Nesri. So not exactly a load of goals, really. 26 for Tadic, 26 coming in there for Szymanski. We've got St. Maximin with 29 and 51 assists. Now, this guy absolutely took over the Turkish league. And I will say, he is definitely going to go to the Saudi league and probably do even better somehow. Tadic also puts up 31 assists. 22 for Mulder at right back. Which again is still very, very impressive, should I say. We've got 12 coming in for Osterwolde, 14 from Fred. Overall, a really good return. Edin Dzeko, 68 across all competitions. There are some competitions in the Turkish league, which I will say are very stat-paddy, and he did get a lot of goals in them, but still, he got the goals are goals, as simple as that. But realistically, looking at this team and the contract situation, what I will say is we have got a lot of players that are on short contracts. I mean, if we actually go all the way down here and highlight upwards, these are all the players that do need some contracts either this year or next year. So whatever budget we've got, it's going to be quite tough to even keep them here. Hopefully we've got a good budget. It's actually very good compared to what I usually get. We're usually seeing around 13 million, 20 million tops for Fenerbahce. 43 million should be enough to hopefully keep some of these players at the club. And to be honest with you, the likes of Tadic, Dzeko, Amrabat I'd actually like to keep if I can. Kostic maybe could go. Kavecchi I want to keep. I want to keep the likes of St. Maximin, although that won't be happening. There's a load of players here I'm trying to say who I do want to keep, and that is going to be quite tough with that money, because it's not just money. We just had a quadruple winning season. A lot of these players are going to pick up interest from top European sides. The Premier League could come in for some of these boys. And of course, St. Maximin will go and look right now. If I wanted to buy him, which obviously I would be somewhat tempted to, they want a total of 44 to 66 million, which would be our entire budget. So, I mean, I doubt what's going to happen. But let's get into Season 2 of the transfers first, then go into the season highlights and see what we can do. But what I will say is at any point, if you do want to pick up this rebuild file and the tactic, you can do so in the Patreon, where you also get over 13 perks. So be sure to go and check it out, because you get the tactic and the rebuild file. And trust me, this rebuild, the best is still yet to come. Signing one is going to be the permanent signing of Sofyan Amrabat, coming in from the likes of Fiorentina on loan, of course, previously of Manchester United. He come in for £11.2 million, and do you know what? He has come in and done exactly what I wanted. Just be a consistent performing midfield player. Doesn't have to stand out at all. Just stay fit, play your games, be good. That's all I need you to do. That's exactly what he done. We're also going to pick up Broja. Now, the reason I've picked him up is he is on the free. He comes in and doesn't set the league alight, shall we say, but 24 games, 5 goals, 6 assists. It's an okay return, and as I always say to everybody that does rebuilds and watches rebuilds, you can always sell him for a little bit of money. We needed a left back and a very competitive left back, but unfortunately, a lot of them cost a lot of money. One that didn't is going to be Tyrick Mitchell, coming in from Crystal Palace for £15 million, a very reasonable amount of money to pay for a very good wing back. He comes in, plays 31 games, actually scores a couple of goals, picks up 10 assists, and drops a 7.39. So in my opinion, overall, it's good business. Lastly, on the free, we are going to pick up Alan Velasco, coming in from FC Dallas, where he comes in and actually doesn't play a single game. Now, a bit of me, maybe I forgot to register him. I don't think I did, but it's telling me maybe I did, because surely he would have got a game somewhere. But do you know what? He's still looking pretty decent, but maybe I made an error. We might have to sell him. So if I did, that's of course on me. But looking at the players we brought in compared to the players that we did lose, obviously one that I did forget to mention is going to be Dusan Tadic, who is now 37, actually going to Juventus. But of course, for us last season, he was a big player, so it's a big loss to us in this season. But he is 37, we've got to be realistic. He's not going to have too much more to offer. So apart from that, the rest of the players we lost weren't the end of the world. We brought in 4 very good players, let's say 3, because I might have had a stinker. Let's see what we've done in Season 2. I'm going to start off with the league on this occasion. That is going to be back-to-back league titles. This time we don't go invincible. We are going to lose 2 games against Galatasaray and Besiktas, 2nd and 3rd place. So at least we're not slipping up to small teams. And it is going to be Nesri coming in and fulfilling more goals that we need. It is going to be 36 goals from him. We have got the star boy here. I say star boy. He is literally 27. But Sebastian coming in here with 28 goals. We've got 3 players in the assists. Even Ryan Kent putting up some stats stats here, with Fred with 14 assists and Cengiz Ünder with 15. Livakovic still dominating the clean sheets, and again, all 3 players in the average rating. Now, we did win 2 more trophies, but I'll be honest, the games weren't that interesting to watch, so I'm going to show you in the competitions tab, and these are going to be the games. So the Super Cup, we are going to win 1-0 over Barcelona. A very boring game, which, to be honest, I'm not going to lie, we got very lucky in. We didn't get lucky in this one, but still only got 1 goal against Galatasaray in a 1-0 win in the Turkish Super Cup. So that is going to be a treble winning season, not a quadruple, but still a very good amount of trophies to be winning, lifting almost everything possible, obviously, apart from the Champions League and the Turkish Super Cup. Did we get battered in that Champions League? The quarterfinals, we didn't. 4-3. That's a very humble defeat, in my opinion, against Man City, who I imagine potentially went on to win it. Who went on to win? We don't even know yet. But overall, I will say it's not a humiliation station. In terms of the Turkish Cup, Galatasaray a little bit too strong on the day, but overall a good return in terms of player stats and in terms of trophies. The next season, we've got 98 million, which is screams of a financial takeover. I will try and find the email before we get into the next season, but overall that is going to help us big time, because I would imagine, again, it's going to be a similar pattern. Players are going to get picked up by bigger clubs, contracts are going to be expiring, it's going to be a bit of a cluster, so that might help us out big time. Tactics wise, we are going to look at the players that are obviously in the team. Starting off with assists on this occasion, we've got Mert coming in with 15, 4 coming in from Rodrigo, a centre back there, 11 for Tyrek Mitchell, who enjoyed a great season, 7 for Amrabat, 17 from Fred in that DLP, who absolutely thrives in that area, 20 for Ünder. We've got, again, this lad here, I always butcher his name, but Szymanski, I'm going to get it right. 35 and 24 from him. We've got 18 and 23 from Ryan Kent, and Nesri really coming in and picking up the bulk load of goals. But as you can see, we have got a bit of an issue, and something that I will say, because obviously I would imagine he has actually gone over and done it. I think Dzeko is actually... He's gone. He's retired. He is now available on a free transfer as the head of youth development. So I might go over and actually make that happen. Just, you know, a little bit of respect for him. But he come in. He had 1 good season, didn't he? But I mean, well, 1 good season for us in the rebuild. But I mean, now it is literally all on this lad here. So a lot of pressure. And I tell you what is a lot of pressure. The fact that if we actually go and put our best 11 in, you can argue this bench is looking pretty diabolical. Broja is a player that I am going to look to move on now. He was brought in on the free, but realistically he's got nothing going for him now. He's not firing in many goals at all, because you got this absolute unit up front. So we've got to look at the team overall now, make some big decisions, because we've brought in players that maybe aren't the best or not performing the best. So Alan Velasco, again, if we look at him, of course, he didn't play a single game. Now that might be down to me. If we get an offer for him, I might look to sell him, boost the transfer budget up a little bit, and carry on and trying to strengthen. But let's get into Season 3 after winning a very, very, very good treble, and hopefully carry on improving. Well, it's funny how times change, isn't it? Because Saint Maximin did not have a good season in the Saudi League. He's going to come and rejoin us in Season 3, as you can see right now, and he has instantly returned 12 goals and 13 assists. He's taken a pay cut. He is now on a total of 160 grand a week, opposed to probably about 500k. Welcome back to probably our best player. We are also going to be smart and sign some Turkish players. That is going to be Yilmaz coming in at left back for a total of 14 million. He plays 16 games, drops a 7 rating. It's nothing special, but it's a decent signing. Speaking of Turkish players, probably one of the hottest Turkish prospects at the moment, former Juventus man, is going to be Yildiz, Kenan Yildiz, that is, sorry, from Juventus for £50 million, a big price tag. He comes in and actually doesn't do amazing, but he wasn't playing every single game. You've got to remember this guy is still only 22, he's very versatile, can play on the left, on the right, in the middle, and to be honest, has the attributes to play any of those roles as well, so we've got to decide where we want him. We are also going to go over and do a great bit of business and pick up Lazar Samazic on the free from Udinese, where he comes in and, well, he stormed the league, 33 appearances, 22 goals, 18 assists, 11 player of the matches, and drops close to an 8 average rating. This player is either up here or down here, and for us, he is potentially even further up than here. What a season he has had. And if we wanted to, we could easily get above 23 million, but there's not a single bit of me that wants to sell him. This guy could win us a Champions League. Other player that maybe couldn't win us a Champions League yet, but is going to hopefully help, is going to be Jose Marsa, coming in from the likes of Club Brugge for 25 million. He comes in and plays almost every single game, stays fit, drops a semi-consistent season at 7.21, but what I love about him is his versatility. Can play at centre-back, can play as a DM. He's 25, so again, not too old, and we paid what? We paid 25. He's already valued at double that, so I mean, we've had a very, very good season, spent practically our entire budget, which is a big move, but you have to try and win stuff. So let's go over into the results, where hopefully we can potentially win the Turkish League back to back to back to back. It might be a big ask though. Clearly it wasn't, and we have gone back to being invincible again. 31 wins and 3 draws. Those 3 draws against Galatasaray, both in 1-1s, and a team that finished 13th. So the only disappointment in that season would be the draw against Igdir, I believe is how you say that. But once again, it is going to be the same candidates. I mean, En-Nesyri coming in as top goal scorer, Samardzic in 3rd place, and picking up the most assists too. I will say, it's as obvious as it gets. He has definitely been the player of the season. I don't think anybody can argue that. You've also got Fred dropping a great rate, and let's not forget about Fred, because he sometimes gets criminally underlooked. He's had a great season. Unfortunately for him, Samardzic is in the team, so he isn't going to take rank 1, but still a very good season. Livakovic, again, that is 3 seasons now back to back to back to back, where he has picked up the most clean sheets. It seems like we've been blessed with a goalkeeper. Went to the Turkish Super Cup at the start of the season, where we are going to go 1-0 up in 3 minutes over Galatasaray, and to be honest with you, we were absolutely all over them. We find ourselves 2-0 up inside of 25 minutes, and at this point, it is just an absolute rampage. Cengiz is going to go through, and he's going to make it 3 in 46 minutes, and Galatasaray just fell apart. Fred wins it back 5 minutes after the last goal, and we are going to make it 4, and we wrap up the game 5-0 in 55 minutes with a ball in the box into En-Nesyri. It's too easy. We also are going to lift the Turkish Cup against Besiktas 1-0, and now time for a Champions League final. This is a Champions League final, and it's going to be interesting because there is 5 goals in 21 minutes. Now, yeah, the game was decided in this time, so a Champions League final decided in 21 minutes. I think we're going to want to watch this, aren't we? So be sure to leave a like, by the way, because this only happens on this channel, this sort of drama. We are going to see a set piece come in from Bayern, and we are going to break down this game a bit because there's a lot to take in. Firstly, a great goal from Bayern with Kim Min-jae. It's not a great start. I didn't even know he could strike a ball like that. They're going to be 1-0 up inside of 6 minutes. We are then going to bounce back with En-Nesyri, Mitchell down the left-hand side, drives, goes alone, an own goal from Upamecano to make it 1-1. Again, a set piece from UCL. I mean, we need to be better at defending these set pieces because that's all they've got at the moment is 2 set pieces. We then bounce back to make it 2-2, and as you can see, a ball in the box is going to find En-Nesyri. Our goals actually coming from open play. But again, a set piece wins in the Champions League. That's right, we lose the Champions League, all technically off set piece goals, meaning we do lose it, and that is the one trophy we are looking for, but we are not going to give up. That is a big improvement in the Champions League, and we still are going to walk away with a treble winning season. Now, of course, it's not perfect because we do need to win this Champions League, but in terms of players, once again, guys, we've had a great season out of En-Nesyri. Samardzic, 31 and 23. He has by far been the best player. 17 and 20 for St. Maximin on the right on this occasion. Samardzic actually gets on the left-hand side, by the way. We've got Siemensky coming in with 14 and 18, 12 from Fred, 12 from Mulder when it comes to the assists. Cengiz under 12 and 12 off the bench, not too bad, but the one thing that I'm noticing in this tactic, and not tactics, sorry, but with the players, is we don't really have a good enough depth. Like, if you look at the players that are in the first team, they're absolutely thriving. But when they get injured, when they don't play, we don't have too many people to turn to. So going into the next season, the main aim is probably to try and bring in not any player, but don't focus on bringing in necessarily big players, but people that can come in off the bench and score goals and can get assists, because the players we've got at the moment simply aren't doing that to a good enough level. And when you're trying to compete in 4 competitions, you need a squad, not just an 11. You need an entire team. And to do that, we've got 71 million, which is not 71 million. We've got 81 million to go and spend, which should translate into, I'm hoping, a minimum of 3 players, 3 pretty good players. But of course, the squad as well, we are going to go and look. We have got these sorts of players to deal with. So he can go, he needs to stay, he needs to stay, he needs to stay, he needs to stay, he can go, he needs to stay, and he could go as well for the right money. So overall, probably like 4 players that we are trying to keep out of the players that could be expiring, which is a little bit of pressure, but we have got more than enough money to go and deal with it. So let's get into Season 4. We're flying through the seasons, but we're winning trophies. I mean, already, if we actually go and look at the club info, we can go and see this right now. We've added 1 European League, 1 Super Cup, 3 Turkish Super Leagues, a Turkish Cup, I believe, or potentially 2, and a Super Cup. We are absolutely flying, but we've still got to chase that Champions League. Season 4. So Osterwolde is no longer happy at Fenerbahce and is going to go to PSV. He does go on the free and he enjoys a pretty diabolical season. Do you know what? He never really played well for us, so do you know, I'm happy to see the back of him. Goodbye to Osterwolde. Player I'm not happy that we've lost is going to be Lazar Samardzic, and now this rebuild might be a fail because he is gone for one reason. Now, I'm going to leave this on the screen for a second. Why do you think he is gone? Do you think it's anything to do with the 525k? I would imagine it is. He is gone, and do you know what? He's fallen off. He's not had a good season, he's gone for the money, and he's going to pay the price. That is a disgrace. I'm going to attempt to replace him by bringing in Matthias Kuna, coming in from Wolves. He comes in and actually drops a remarkable season, similar to Samardzic, to be honest, with 33 appearances, 26 goals, 17 assists, 7 player of the matches, and drops a 7.96 average rating. That is not half bad. We're also going to pick up Simon Sohm, a midfield player who can play either attacking or defensive on the free, comes in from Parma. He plays 32 games, to be fair to him, doesn't exactly set the league alight, but he was brought in again for a better depth option, and depth has turned to first team. Also going to go over and pick up Jose Hurtado, coming in from Juve for 7.2 million, one of the best right backs available to us, where he comes in and plays 30 games, drops 9 assists, gets 1 goal as well, a 7.6 rating. He is still only 26 and he is absolutely rapid. He's got good stamina. He's got everything going for him. He is literally the perfect wingback. Welcome in to Jose. We're also going to pick up another Turkish man. It's going to be Altay Bandidir, coming in from Manchester United. A good Super League player. Probably the only realistic goalkeeper option we could go and get at the moment with the budget we had left, because we have got a big signing coming up after this. 9.5 million. He's come in, and I'll be honest with you, he's conceded nearly a goal a game, so let's just get off him. This guy will not get off though, because we have brought in Archie Gray from Tottenham Hotspur, and he cost me a lot. He come in and 55 million, by the way. That's the English tax. 28 games, 4 assists, dropped to 7.21. He is playing in that real defensive role, not in Fred's role, so he's not going to get loads and loads of stats, so we can't base him purely off the stats, more off the average rating, which, to be honest, above a 7 is usually quite good. So a player who, again, he's only 22, got tons of learning, can play in 3 positions. He offers a fair bit, and to be honest with you, looking at the players that we've brought in compared to what we've lost, I think we have still upgraded, but the results are going to tell the story. I think on this occasion, we're going to start with the Champions League. Let's go over and paint the story then. In the Champions League, the round of 16, we are going to beat Juve 3-1, which, to be honest, is actually a very, very good set of results because Juventus are no pushover team. The quarterfinals, we do play RB Leipzig, so I will be honest, a bit of an easier leg. We are going to win 4-1 over 2 games, and considering the teams that are in there, I think we got pretty blessed, to be honest with you. Going over to what is going to be the semi-finals, we are going to go over and beat Liverpool 3-2, which of course means we are going to be in that final, and this is where things get pretty serious. And it was just 1 goal to win the Champions League. That is right, it is going to be a goal in the 54th minute. We've finally done it. It's right, we have finally done it. We are going to win the Champions League 1-0 over PSG. It's taken us 4 seasons and a fair bit of money to be spent, but we have finally cracked the formula and won the Champions League. And to make things a little bit better, we didn't just win that. We also are going to win the Turkish Super Cup in extra time over Galatasaray. The Turkish Super Cup again in extra time, 4-2 over Besiktas. And let's just run it up. We are also going to win the Turkish Super League, meaning we have won every single occasion, 4 back-to-back. I believe that's right. Nearly going invincible, only losing 1 games there against third place team. We have come in and absolutely stormed the league. No one's ever got near us, to be honest. We have got En-Nesyri with 40 goals, Kuna with 26. We've got 3 players in the assists, 3 players in the average rating. Livakovic for the first time ever not getting the most clean sheets, but it really doesn't matter because we have won the quadruple, and it is the quadruple, meaning this trophy cabinet is now going to have not only a Champions League, but a Europa League and a UEFA Super Cup. Anything European is now belonging to Fenerbahce. Thanks to this management, it's been a fantastic rebuild where realistically you have been left with an absolute team which not only you've got the team, you've got an immaculate tactic and you can go over and really cause some issues now. So if you do want to carry on this rebuild, you can get the rebuild file in the description over on the Patreon. Not only do you get this rebuild file, you get all of my rebuild files, you get all of my tactics, you get all of my set pieces. Everything that you see video-wise is over there as an exclusive. And do you know what? Just looking at this schedule, we only lost, I believe, 3 games the entire season. One here against Manchester United in the league group phase, one here, obviously, in the league, and one here against AC Milan. Other than that, it's a complete sweep. And do you know what? I'm going to rate this rebuild very highly with one of the best I've ever done. If you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Get your comments below what you want to see next. Enjoy the rest of your day.